Hi, I'm Christina from Broken Dreams and welcome to a new video. So as you can see from the title, I will be talking about Croatian SFF works that I have kind of discovered in 2022 and this first 2 months of 2023, and prepare yourselves from a lot of gushing and just saying everything is excellent and that everybody should read all of these. So let's just start. The first thing I have is a short story, and that is The Gentleman by Vesna Kurilic. This is a queer urban fantasy story, and I read it quite some time ago, so I don't remember the exact details, but it's about a guy who's at, like, I think some form of Comic-Con, and he meets this mystery guy in a toilet, and it's smut with fantastical elements, and it was just a beautiful slice of chocolate cake, whatever your favorite like sweet is, sweets, like whatever. It was just like that perfect perfect moment, you know. You just read it and you're so happy after it. You are intrigued though, like actually the ending was written in such a way that I was like, okay, I would actually like to read something that follows up to this. Like, I want to know what happens to them. And it was just like absolutely perfect. So queer urban fantasy, very short. So just, you know, to clean your palate in between other things you have, perfect. Then I have, which you might have seen in our favorites video of 22, it's Eats Us From the Inside by Antonija Mežnarić. So let me try to be more like normal about this book. This is the story of Doris and her wife who come to an almost abandoned seaside Croatian town to visit Doris's father, who has become ill, and he has this kind of sickness that is eating him from the inside out. And there is a lot of mystery in why Doris left the town at first. There is also a fantastical element from her childhood that we find out what was and what happened there. Just we also get to find what this disease is. It's somewhat feels COVID-like in the sense this is a disease that came out of nowhere and it's spreading, and you have just like this sense of foreboding and foreshadowing what will potentially happen to the world, because this is happening just in this small Croatian town. There's also some comments on Croatia being a small country and whatever's happening here doesn't really matter to the world, but it could matter. And just everything was just such a great, it was such a bleak, desperate, like oppressive atmosphere. You could literally feel like through the pages, like the desperation of the people, like this feeling of emptiness in the town. What did I write? Like just heaviness of it all. I was absolutely like drawn into the story. I loved it. I loved the writing. I loved the atmosphere. It was at the same time absolutely horrifying and gross. The descriptions of the disease are just like, oh my god, really gross. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it, and I think everybody should read it. And yeah, that's basically what I have to say about this aquatic horror story. What do you need more? Like, yeah, that's awesome. Go read it. We are following the train of Antonija Mežnarić, and the next 2 books are also by her. So first we have What Nightmares Dream Of. What Do Nightmares Dream Of? And I think you may have heard about this in some wrap-up, Maya, or both of us did. Anyways, this is the story of Sanya. She is a teacher who just bought an apartment in Rijeka, and she is dealing with a mora, or a nightmare. And this mora is kind of trying to kill her in her sleep. And we are following her struggle and fight with the mora. And at first I thought it would be really not frightening, because Sanya actually accepted what is happening. And it was like, okay, where's the scary element? However, the part of the book is based on sleep paralysis, which I'm completely scared of. Like, I'm terrified of it. I never want it to happen to me. It's so scary. Yeah, kind of after the first like 5 pages, maybe I was like, okay, this is really scary. I'm not feeling comfortable anymore. And it was absolutely great. Again, the atmosphere was there. There was really true horror elements in there, different ones. I can't even, you know, like specifically stress one out, because there were a lot set in like this small novella. There was also talk about the church, the kind of connection between the church and the LGBTQ community, because the Sanya's kind of friend, oh my god, no, he's a cousin, is a priest in the Catholic Church, so you could see that conflict happening too. And there's also childhood trauma, trigger warnings for death of a parent. Just, this was basically an exploration of Sanya's character and her dealing with, well, something that I guess a lot of us, at least my friends in Croatia in their 30-somethings feel. It's just like desperation of living in the system that we are living in. The impossibility of having, or difficulty having something of our own, like paying a mortgage for your like apartment or house, and like just kids being kids, and just nobody having like the tolerance and acceptance for diversity. And it was just like one big, again, just so many topics, and dealt in such an interesting way. And the ending, I loved the ending. One thing I'll say, which bothered me, because now I'm becoming nitpicky about these things, because I like them so much, is I would have preferred to have like a table with the pronunciations of names in the front or the end of the book, because I felt a bit weird seeing, I don't know, Sanya, which I think English-speaking people would maybe pronounce Sanja, and then Shimun, written with SH, kind of to, although it's written like with an S and like a V above it, like with a diacritic. I don't know, it just felt like, but I'm literally nitpicking right now, like so nitpicking, but that is the only thing that just kind of stuck out. But this is also because I do deal with like language, and I work in language, so kind of I notice these things more than other people do. So yeah, if that is really like the only thing I can say bad about it, I think you should really kind of, again, go pick these books up. And finally, we have the greatest hit so far, which as Maya said, this was her favorite of January, and so was mine, I have to say. So we have Od kolijevke pa do groba by Antonija Mežnarić, and this is an urban fantasy story with horror elements set in Rijeka. We have Nana, who is an educator in like a student dorm, but it's a student dorm for high schoolers, and she is in charge of magical beings, so kids that have some kind of magical power, or they're shapeshifters, vampires, necromancers. Like, there's so much Slavic mythology in there that it's incredible. and we follow her as she has to deal with the case of her students finding limbs in the courtyard of like this dorm where they are living. And it's absolutely fantastic. There are certain scenes that are so gross. Again, the descriptions of body horror are, God, like so gross that they're so good, and you're really disgusted by them, and that's really awesome. And this, like, in the sense of the book. I actually learned a lot in like Slavic mythology from this book. The atmosphere was great. Kids were actually kids, and they were like, you know, but that was actually a plus in the book. Excuse me. Then we have the mystery of the limbs, which was also great. Like the entire backstory to these limbs, and her and Nana and her wife just like kind of dealing with that, and like the kids also, like everything. Like I would love like short stories about the individual kids, about Nana's wife, which to be fair, I found out there is actually a short story about how Nana and her wife met and what happened to her, so I will be definitely reading that. But anyways, now I don't even know how to speak about this book. Unfortunately, it's only in Croatian, and if only it were in English, I would just force upon everybody to buy this and read it, because it is really, really great. And I'm really looking forward to kind of a sequel. And also, we actually did a review of the book, so I will link that somewhere. And also, finally, at the end, I want to kind of just honorary mention to Igor Rendic, which we read, I think, in 2021, maybe, or maybe beginning of 2022, whose book, A Town Called River, we also have a review of. So you can also check that out. And basically, my conclusion to this is I will be definitely kind of creating my own collection of Striga books. This is the publisher of all of these stories, and yeah. I just love it, and I hope anybody who is like in the English, who reads in English and Croatian, wants to find some great Croatian authors, please just go check all of these authors out. And yeah, that's it from me. Please like, share, subscribe, press the bell button if you want to get notifications whenever we post new videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video. Bye!